Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nessa and I'm an author from Toronto, Canada, and I publish under the pen name and Sage. I write fantasy, mystery, a whole bunch of in-between genres, and today we're doing a slightly different type of video because we are celebrating the release of my brand new novella. It's a holiday novella, Mistletoe, Mocha, and Murder. First of all, I apologize about the drilling sides if you can hear them, but we do live in a condo building and we have construction going on kind of like somewhere above us, and so you can sometimes hear it. But we are celebrating this baby. So if you're not, I marked off a page, so I'm going to read for you guys. If you're not familiar with my Orchard Hollow series, it is a paranormal cozy mysteries. There are 6 full books out, and this is a holiday novella that was kind of written and published as a bonus because me and our publisher decided that we would like to do something for the holidays to celebrate the season and for the readers. And I am so excited. It is a little tiny novella, but it's actually about more than half the size of a regular book. So it's got like a full mystery in it, and it's a really, really fun one. But the premise of Orchard Hollow, if you don't know, it is around, it's a small town that has a lot of paranormals in it, secret little paranormals. Our main sleuth is a witch who can't witch for reasons. You'd have to read the series to find out. She has an unusual familiar. Her familiar is actually the ghost of a dead snobby woman who is attached to her, and they're attached to each other forever, but they end up being very good friends, of course. And the raccoon is on the cover because Harry Houdini makes regular appearances and even has his own chapter POVs in the main books. So this one, however, is all about the holidays. So it takes up pretty much after the wrap up of the last book, and it is Piper and the gang starting to celebrate Christmas and all of the shenanigans that kind of go with that. But of course, things go awry, as they usually do in a cozy mystery. And there is murder afoot and mysteries to solve. Also, as you can tell, we are all decorated. So you're like in a small portion of our house here in like the library area, but we've got like our Christmas tree set up in here. There's lights everywhere. I went all out. I have a full Christmas village. It's a whole thing, and I'm really excited. So perfect for this series. And just to kind of show you the cover, so you can see how adorable it is with like Harry Houdini wearing a Santa hat. And we've got like a whole bunch of Christmas themed stuff. There is also a lot of, I don't know if you can see, but there's kind of artist type things because there's an art gallery in this one. So I am going to be doing a giveaway, so stay tuned for the end of this video. I thought what we could do is basically, I'll probably tell you what this book is about. I'll do a link if you want to order it and read it. So I'll link both this novella and also a link for kind of the full series down in the description below, so you have it. But first, I kind of wanted to tell you what the book is about, and I might as well read you the blurb for it because it's a really fun blurb. And then afterwards, I have an exclusive excerpt that I'm only reading here on this channel. So there is another exclusive excerpt out there on Fresh Fiction if you want to go check that out. I do have a space that they're kind enough to promote the book on there as well. So if you want to go and check it out there, there's another exclusive excerpt from the book there. But we're going to read a completely different one today. But first, what is Mistletoe, Mocha, and Murder all about? 'Tis the season for a murder most foul. When local witch Piper Addison gets invited by her vampire boyfriend to an art opening in the big city weeks before the holidays, she jumps at the chance to go. A night of art and festive fun is exactly what Piper needs. That, and to get away from her mother, who is on a mission to throw the biggest Christmas party their small town has ever seen. It is all candy canes and jolly until a dead body shows up and a priceless work of art gets stolen. Even worse, Piper can't go back home until the killer's found, and Mother Dearest is single-handedly running Piper's cafe into the ground. Talk about a Yuletide disaster. Can our witch entrust the help of her ghost familiar to help solve the murder before her entire life implodes? Or will this be a holiday she will sorely remember forever? So that's kind of a little bit about the premise. So essentially, for the holidays, Joe, Piper's boyfriend, he's a vampire, he decides that he wants to take her out. He has a friend that lives in the city, Brian the werewolf. We've had nods and mentions of him in previous books, back when Piper and Joe went on vacation. And so we have mentions of him there, Brian. So they're going to go see Brian. Brian has a friend that runs a big gallery in the city, and he's having a massive opening night, a very big opening night, because a very important piece of art is being shown on that opening night. And so Joe and Piper decide to go. They're only going for the weekend. It'll be jolly good fun. And then they come back, or so they think. As mentioned in the blurb, things happen. So this was really fun to write because I just love holidays. I love Christmas. Look at our tree, it's exploding. But I just absolutely adore anything that has to do with holidays, Christmas, cheerfulness, the coziness, the food, the decorating, all the colors, like twinkling lights, snow. I don't like being out in the snow, but I love watching it from a window. And so I really, really enjoyed writing all those cute little cozy things in this book. And there's a lot of that in here. So let's go ahead and read a little excerpt. I'm so excited. So I'm not reading a full chapter. They are shorter chapters in here, but I didn't want to read the full one because then we'd be here forever. But I figured we could read a piece of a chapter. There might be, I'm trying to pick something without spoilers, but because it's a novella, if I wanted to do that, I'd have to read you basically the first chapter because things move a little faster. So there are like slight spoilers, but I think we already know that somebody dies from the blurb and a piece of art is missing. So it's not spoiling too much. So this is basically them discovering the body, which is my favorite part to write usually. I padded lightly and carefully, following the direction Joe and Brian disappeared to. Up ahead, the space seemed to open further, and I saw glimpses of canvases stacked against the wall and a few flowing sheets over what had to be statues. As I inched closer, I noticed a large projector screen on one wall and a flickering light dancing across it. My head turned to follow the direction of the light, spotting a turned-over projector lying lamely on the floor. Odd. I glanced at my familiar, and the look of concern that grew over her stoic features. Strange, no? Where's everyone? What an excellent point. I twirled on my heels, trying to find Joe and Brian, but the two seemed to have vanished. My ears perked, and I tried to listen closer, my body stilling when I heard hushed voices coming from somewhere behind the projector screen. I exchanged twin looks of worry with Stella, then made my way toward the sound. With 2 fingers, I pulled the screen to the side, shock raking through my body when I saw what the screen was actually covering a doorway. Slipping in behind it, I walked into the tight, cold room that lay ahead. My skin broke out in goosebumps even under the layers of clothes I wore. It was almost as cold in here as it was outside, a direct opposite to the room I just left. This must be where he keeps the more expensive pieces, Stella said. When I quirked a brow at her, she added, temperature control. It's an art vault. Nodding, I walked further into the vault. Only a second passed when I was hit with a blinding light coming in from inside. I hissed like Harry Houdini when I blasted him with my magic, veering away from the obnoxious beacon in front of me. Piper, I heard Joe call out, stay where you are. Don't come in here. You should definitely go in there, Stella rebutted. Since by now Joe knew I'd do the exact opposite of what I was told, especially when it involved butting my nose into places, I followed my familiar's advice. With a few long strides, I sunk further into the vault, my heart dropping to the floor as I reached Joe. He stood in the center of a metal-enclosed area, his brow creased so deeply the wrinkles appeared painted on. Next to him, Brian wore an expression of horror, his gaze on the floor. I followed his eyes, a gasp breaking free of my chapped lips. Lying at the man's feet was Tyler Kahn. Half his body was trapped under the grotesque bronze sculpture from the gallery opening, the tiger in the tutu crushing the man entirely. His eyes were closed, and I could tell from where I stood that he wasn't breathing, that he hadn't been for quite some time. There was a piece of paper clutched in his hand, and I recognized it as the same list he carried with him at the opening, the sales list of potential clients. A chill ran down my spine as the reality of the scene hit me. Tyler, the man who had been alive only hours ago, now lay lifeless and cold. I felt my knees weaken, threatening to buckle under the weight of the horrific scene before me. The air seemed to grow thicker, harder to breathe, as panic tightened its grip around my lungs. I shook out the wild energy of my magic that was clinging to my skin, blue electric sparks hitting an overturned chair in the corner. The magic singed the fabric, and Joe had to stomp it out before I set the place on fire. My heart raced in my chest, pounding so lightly it drowned out every other sound in the room. What happened? I stammered. my voice barely a whisper, trembling with fear and disbelief. We're not sure, Joe said. He was already gone when we walked in. Brian called the police. They should be here soon. Brian, I'm so sorry, I whispered. The werewolf barely heard me. His bloodshot eyes didn't leave his friend, phone still clenched in his trembling hands. I wouldn't touch anything, he instructed. The police will want to examine the crime scene. Crime scene? You think this was intentional? Brian didn't answer. I peeled my gaze away from him to look at Joe, who only pointed to a glass case a few feet from the art collector's body. Atop the case lay an intricately carved gold frame that I recognized immediately. It was the same one that held the piece de resistance Tyler boasted about at the opening. There was only one thing different about this particular frame. The art inside it was gone. So that was them kind of coming into an after party or like a private tour and finding the body and the missing stolen art piece. And that kind of sets the whole thing in motion. So hopefully you enjoyed that a little bit. I really, really loved writing this. Like it literally, like I think when I was writing it, I was giddy with every single page that I wrote, every chapter that got finished. I've never plowed through a book. I know it's a novella, and so it's shorter, but I've never plowed through a book this quickly before. I will say that the spin-off series that I'm writing now about the fairy funeral home director and the secret society of undertakers that solve crimes, that one kind of flew by as well, but that one is a first in the series, and the first in the series usually tend to go by faster for me as far as writing and drafting is concerned. But this is pretty much book 7, I guess. And you would think I would slow down, but like something about this and the mystery and the art scene and writing a whole different, like the King City and then being in a hotel and new people, like it was just so like exciting for me. And so hopefully it's exciting for you when you read it. So with that said, I'm not going to drag this on and on. I wanted to do a short celebration. We will be back to our regular programming this weekend. We'll do an author chat to kind of catch up on release plans, all that stuff. But in the meantime, I am going to do a giveaway for a signed copy of this baby. So we'll do a giveaway. It will be Canada and US only, just because right now we also have a Canada post strike where I am right now. And so shipping is a little bit intense. I have to use like other venues and all that stuff. So Canada, US only. But to enter the giveaway, it's only happening here in our community here on YouTube, which is very, very fun. You have to be subscribed to the channel, like this video, and comment and tell me what your favorite holiday drink is below. So just tell me your favorite holiday drink below to enter, and then do like this, make sure you're subscribed and like the video. And my favorite holiday drink, I have to think about it, probably anything with whipped cream. But I'm not a mint type person, but I do really enjoy like a caramel, like I think I've had a caramel eggnog latte and I actually really, really liked it. It was absolutely delicious. So I think I probably would pick that one as far as a holiday drink goes, because for the most part, I usually drink wine. Which is like my favorite holiday drink, I suppose. But tell me your favorite holiday drink. Piper owns a cafe, and so if it's like coffee based, that's super fun. But if not, whatever it is, mine wasn't. Latte, I guess it is. Yeah, it was. What am I saying? The wine wasn't. But yeah, favorite drink, like, subscribe, and all the fun stuff, and you can have a chance to win a signed copy of this beautiful baby. I can't believe it, though. Thank you so much for celebrating with me. Hopefully you enjoyed that little excerpt and the blurb and the whole thing. And as always, I hope you stay magical. And I'm going to go and celebrate this baby more. And I will see you next week for another video. Bye.